Well, I want to talk about silver and silver fears and games are being played on people. It's basically, I don't want to get into any kind of, I don't know, don't want to be too harsh on anything, but I want to point out some common things, common sense things. But first off, let me relate, when he had H.G. Wells talked about the Martians were going to invade, I don't know, what was that back in the 1930s? Talk about the Martians were going to invade the United States or something, here they're coming. And people were jumping off the roofs from this radio announcement, even though they stated many times that it was just a story. It was nothing real that was going on. It was a fictional story. A lot of people took it as truth. And even today, if you want to look at some crazy things out there, we got, I even, this is where I kind of a beef where people state that YouTube and Google are involved in these conspiracies. No, they're not. If somebody posts something and it sells, hey, that's what they post. As long as it's not illegal to do whatever they're posting, no big deal. So there's a lot of people out there, there's actually some rumors out there about the Andromeda Council. You ever heard of that one? It's almost like the H.G. Wells story, that there's these lizard alien people that are basically reptilian and shape-shifting. I don't know what the hell they are. You have to ask David Icke to get the details on that. But they control the earth, they control the elite, and they got plans for us. So, there's people that believe that stuff, and they got a lot of tens of thousands of followers at least, and it goes to show you people are crazy. So, the silver conspiracy crowd is nowhere near as bad as them, so I'll say that. But I want to examine, some of the statements about, the elite. Will they buy silver? Well, they're not buying it. Well, actually, I'll tell you the truth. Most people who have a lot of money will avoid silver because it's too volatile, right? Goes up and down, up and down. Now, let's examine the statement about, like, for instance, this is being pushed by a number of people. Get out of paper assets. Get everything out of paper assets. It's been pushed for the last few years or so or more. And buy physical silver or else you're going to lose all your money. The whole financial system is going to collapse. So Carlos Slim, $69 billion. Bill Gates, $61 billion. Warren Buffett, $44 billion. And I think they got more money than that because I came aware of things that, some freaky stuff that some people do have a lot more money than it shows up on paper. But this is according to Forbes' public list. Now, they're going to lose, Carlos Slim's going to lose all his money because he doesn't buy physical silver. Is he so stupid? Is he really that dumb? Is Bill Gates that dumb? Warren Buffett that dumb? Are they really that stupid? I mean, if they're going to lose all their money because they didn't buy physical silver. Now, I mean, it's going to be mean when I say this, but, Pastor Lindsey Williams states that, he's got inside information, he tells you that buy physical silver, else you're going to lose everything on a piece of paper. Everything. That's what my elite friend said. And the elite are buying up coins and they're driving around these big trucks and stuff like that. I know he came out with these stories. Well, you know what? If you got these guys all to buy a few $1 billion worth of coin, guess what? There wouldn't be any coins left for the masses. But the whole idea is ludicrous. It's nuts. And I want people to realize these people that have all this wealth, they're a hell of a lot smarter than anybody that's pumping bullcrap on YouTube, including me, of course. But I could state that I've been around a little longer, like I'll be 57. And I've been for a number of years and decades actually in finance and accounting, well read. And I'm educated. I don't know. I don't want to brag on my IQ is, but it's not bad. It's pretty up there. But I'm really kind of fed up. I don't like professional phony bullshit artists. So I talk pretty down to earth, they never rang right with me because they strike me as a phony bunch of dorks. But I could see common sense, and these people aren't going to lose all their money because they didn't buy physical silver. Now, I want to point out, this is from the news unit. I pointed this out. This is a good blog spot, newsunitblogspot.com. and I'll post the links where this is. This guy I pretty much agree with. Now, one area I disagree with him, he says he thinks silver is going to go down below 20. I say no. I think it might go solidly below 26, maybe 24, 25. I don't know that for a fact because it looked really good yesterday, on June 1st, yesterday, 2012. It looked good because of Ben Bernanke's statement. But there could be some more events that drive it down, and then Ben Bernanke's going to drive it way the hell up. It's probably going to double in no time. So, with these guys, these Sons of Liberty, this was started by Chris Duane. I never really got into this stuff. And to tell you the truth, I never really listened to any of these guys. I listened to Chapman for a couple months. I listened to Brother John F. for a few months. I listened to a little bit on Vision Victory, not much. Lindsey Williams a little bit. Him I wasn't sure about because he's got some facts mixed in with some bad calls. But he never gave me any good calls as far as financially, period. As far as like some facts about the Middle East, I think were pretty good. But I never really listened to too much of these other people. But the Sons of Liberty basically states, supposedly it was started by Chris Duane, it was that you buy physical silver coin to break J.P. Morgan, and that's the only way you're going to preserve your wealth, from my understanding. And pretty much that's the message of all these people. Now, they should know better. They should know better. Bob Chapman is the oldest one here. Now, he's got the most experience. He was a Series 63 trader and broker. He's been around in financial markets for, I don't know, since the early 60s probably. And he's been writing about gold and silver and following those markets probably for at least 20 years, I think. If I got this correct, I think that's about right. He should know better because sometimes he makes some crazy predictions. I don't know if he's playing a game on me or what, but I don't like listening to him anymore. Just to say that. Brother John F., I think he's well educated. I think he was a Series 7 trader, but he surprises me about how he leans so heavily to the conspiracy side of everything. And maybe that's just how he thinks, but most people that are educated in, how things work in the marketplace, like in other words, that passed a Series 7 test, you have to understand how things work very well, will not share his opinion at all. Not at all. Not even in the least. I mean, yes, there's games that go on. There are conspiracies, but you will not see too many people in the financial world buying all physical coins. And I'm not really sure if all these people are doing that themselves. They actually are making fiat dollars by spewing whatever the heck they're spewing out here. Buy gold, buy silver. So who knows? Who knows? This is an interesting another drama story. This is off the news unit again. He's got a lot of things on here. It's actually pretty good. I was looking at it, talking about these people are in a campaign of fear. Now, David Morgan, I think he's all right. And he does give that good advice. If you make double on something, sell half. In other words, if silver went up to $60-$70, get rid of half of it, save half. Buy something with this fiat money. Don't shove it in a mattress, but maybe reinvest it, buy something. You still got your initial thing, right? Gerald Celenti's very heavy into gold. This guy's, I know he made a couple wild predictions out there about when he was upset about when he lost his money. Because, he talked about other brokerage houses going down probably in 2012 early. But I think he was very pissed off because he was involved in that MF Global. So I don't really fault him for making that call. And, but I think he's very much on the money, going into heavy on the gold side. Even though I would not recommend people go like very heavy on gold and silver, like where you got about 90% of your money in there. That might be a very good play if you sell at the right times. That's what I'm hoping to do. Now, in case of Gerald Celenti, I think he's about 80 or 90% into gold. And that's a very heavy investment. That's probably a very smart thing. And George Soros does state that gold's the ultimate bubble. You can trust George Soros because basically, even though he's a person that's not very popular with a lot of people. He's telling you the truth there. He's telling you the truth there that gold is going to be the ultimate bubble. There's going to be a panic in the gold, and it's going to get way ahead of itself. If you sell at the right time, you're going to make out like a fat cat, big time. So that's what probably will happen with Gerald Celente. Now, these other people, I don't know, I don't have too much respect for them. I think they are in a business of fear. Um, you know, I guess Gerald Celente could be a little bit in a business of fear too, but some of his predictions have been pretty good, pretty good. You know, sometimes they're not perfect, but they're pretty good. Um, Now, as far as what people are going to do in the future, I think that don't panic like a freaking chicken with your head cut off because, you know, they're talking about the next thing is the banks are all going to close. And I think that was from that Steve Quayle was talking about that. Banks shut down, martial law. Well, let me put it this way again, like I'm almost 57, right? Now, been around, been in the military and all this kind of stuff. You know, before they had the United Nations, they used to talk about the Red Scare. You know, the Russian troops coming with paratroopers from Cuba invading the United States. This kind of crap's been going on forever. Okay? And I'm sure back in the 40s it was the Nazis and the Japanese or something, right? Well, I guess they could have. There was a war going on, right? But, you know, in the 90s they were talking about the UN troops, you know, setting up bases in the United States to take over everything. A lot of stuff like that. So it's been going on a very long time. Maybe eventually something is going to play out like this. It very well could be. There's probably plans. Probably, who the hell knows? Maybe there is. But having people in constant state of fear is actually totally stupid. And there's one thing that Lindsey Williams says, Pastor Lindsey Williams says, that I agree with. It says the elite have a campaign of fear, and the elite don't even have to have a campaign of fear because there's a bunch of independent nut jobs that are pushing out their own fear conspiracy garbage independently, and they don't even work with the elite, you know, the Andromeda Council, right? But the elite have a campaign of fear, and what that is it's designed to keep you off balance and not think clearly. So my advice is, I'm only talking to maybe a couple hundred people at best, if you get a double on silver, don't be afraid to dump some of it, physical and all that. You know, you might not get a double. I mean, I might be waiting too long. So my theory is always to sell in steps. But if you get that much of a gain, you're probably better off selling some. Yes, I know you take fiat, but you're not going to get rid of all of it. And make sure you got your next move planned out wisely. If you have debt on anything, pay down your debt. Pay down your debt. Get out of debt. I don't have any debt, so I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Maybe I'll buy a built-in swimming pool or some shit. I don't know. Just for the hell of it, you know. But I don't know what I do with the rest of it, but that'd be one part of it. But, you know, as far as, you know, people being told that they have to have all their money in physical coin, at one point in time, I know what's going to happen with the middle class. You're going to be caught holding the bag. And the way that's going to occur, I don't want to make this too long, but the way that's going to occur is like silver's never really going to be the thing that backs the money. It's not going to be monetized again. Actually, when silver was monetized back in the 1800s, it was monetized. We had a dual metal system. We had silver gold system. It was actually driving out gold from, you know, being used as money. Gold was being hoarded and silver was being used to exchange with. It was actually driving out the better money. The better money was gold. And actually, if you think about it, look at the gold prices, how smooth they are compared to silver prices. You don't. You want a metal, if anything, if the currency is going to be backed by a precious metal, it's going to be more gold, and silver is going to play a very minor role. But silver is going to go up very good, and so right now it's an excellent investment. Don't worry about this deflationary scare bullshit, because we know Ben Bernanke's going to save the day and help us out because he's our buddy. But you know, as far as you know, holding on too long, what I smell coming up is that the middle class is probably going to go in there head over heels into silver maybe a few years from now, and that's when the bubble's going to break and they're going to get clobbered. I'm hoping I'm not one of those people, but that's how that game's going to go. So be wise, don't be fearful. Don't worry about the sky's not falling and the Martians aren't invading us and the Andromeda Council. It's a bunch of crazy garbage, and including about putting every single dime you have into physical silver. That's a bunch of BS too.